United Water is now Suez, safe, clean water for the communities they serve.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping your tax dollars in our community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by The Copy Center, H&H Auto Parts, Healthy Times Market, McAfee Hardware, Heaven Hill Farm, Lakeland Pool and Spa, Valley Paint and Hardware, and Vernon Tire and Auto Center. Come in, we're local.
Welcome to Greetings from Vernon. I'm your host, Dan Cleary, and it's that time, folks, time to head back to school. So on this show tonight, we'll have some stories about getting your kids back to school, what's going on in the Vernon Township School District. We'll talk about some new positions that have been filled. Hope you enjoyed your summer. Still got some time left. It's still warm out right now as we tape this at the end of August. But as you know, Vernon is a beautiful place in the fall. But enjoy the last few days of August. School will start right after Labor Day weekend and back into the old grind and get the old routine going. So in that theme of going back to school, we talked with Assistant Superintendent Dr. Charles McKay about what's new with the district as we head into the new 2016-2017 school year.
Good morning and welcome to the 2016-2017 Vernon school year. We are delighted to introduce some new ideas and new programs. I'm sitting in the office of one of our assistant principals, Mrs. Nancy Lopresti, and of course she's working with Mr. Drew Krause and the 9th grade academy. So our students coming into the schools will be greeted by the 9th grade academy. And of course we have some brand new programs that we've been talking about in the past. One of them is the 5 new CTE programs that are available to our students. It's a series of 3 classes in each one of the programs in which the students will not only receive concurrent credit through colleges like Temple and Rutgers and Sussex County Community College, but they will also be connected to a work environment where they have an industry partner that's working with them. So we're very excited about those new programs, and they are filled up. We also have introduced a new cosmetology lab this year at the high school. It is a class that is very popular. We've already filled that as well. And our goal here this year in the Vernon School District, with robotics being introduced in 3rd and 4th grade, coding clubs being introduced throughout the district, and also all of the technical pieces, including one-to-one Chromebooks that we're going to use from grades 4 through 9, is a sense that we are a modern school district that wants the best for their children. So therefore, we're going to present all of this on the 29th of August, and then again, we'll be presenting it in all the back-to-school nights. So please look for your child's back-to-school night. Please attend because we have a lot of great things to introduce. We want to wish all of our students the best of luck this year. We hope that they will be successful, and they will be healthy, and they will be well.
Thanks, Chuck. They do a great job there. And at the time of this taping, we were just informed that Vernon will have a new principal at the high school. Tim Dunnigan, after serving the school so well as a VP and the principal, he retired. Great job by Tim. He's a good man. He's been replaced by Drew Krause, who was just approved by the Board of Education. Drew is part of the administration staff at the high school. He came from Wallkill Valley. He's a good guy. And look out for a story on Drew on our next edition of Greetings from Vernon, as we hope to have that on at the end of September. And as Mr. McKay said, folks, check out the list as we go to break of all the back-to-school nights in the Vernon Township School District, and we'll have more on Greetings from Vernon right after these messages here on Channel 10 and mugsmedia.com. United Water is now Suez, safe, clean water for the communities they serve.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping your tax dollars in our community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by The Copy Center, H&H Auto Parts, Healthy Times Market, McAfee Hardware, Heaven Hill Farm, Lakeland Pool and Spa, Valley Paint and Hardware, and Vernon Tire and Auto Center. Come in, we're local.
Welcome back to Greetings from Vernon. I'm your host, Dan Cleary, coming to you from a beautiful day here in August as summer is winding down, Labor Day right around the corner. And as I said previously, There's no place I'd rather be than Vernon Township during the fall season. So we talked to Dr. Charles McKay about, some of the things coming up in the district back to school. We mentioned Drew Krause as the new principal at the high school. Well, Vernon will have a new athletic director, Bill Foley, come the end of the fall season. He will replace Bill Edelman, who's retiring after 30 years plus service in the district as a teacher, coach, and a longtime athletic director. Bill did a lot of good things for this district. We're going to miss him, and we'll have a story on Bill when he officially retires at a later greetings from Vernon. But right now, Bill Foley will be the assistant AD, and then he will take over when Bill retires. And we talked to Bill, a former standout at Vernon Township High School in basketball and soccer.
Real excited, honored to be part of the Vernon community and the high school and the ascending districts. It's something that I've been dreaming about for quite some time. That next step. I've been coaching at Vernon for 21 years and teaching health and phys ed. And it was just that next stepping stone for me to move my career forward.
And how important is it to you that it's your alma mater? I know you transferred in later when you were in high school, but you played for Bill Edelman in basketball, you played for John Ryan in soccer, you're part of the fabric of the community. How great is it that you're able to come and be the AD at your alma mater?
Yeah, nothing better than staying home, and that's what I've always wanted to do. There was some other possibilities that came up, or the opportunity maybe to apply elsewhere, but I didn't want to go elsewhere. I wanted to stay home at Vernon. Again, this is where I finished high school in 1987, and I've been teaching here for 21 years now and coaching, and have been coached by a lot of great people through the ranks back from the late 80s, and some of those people still here, and just great to be part of the family.
Yeah, talk about that. The high school's 41 years old. You're only going to be the third AD. Gary Sparta got the ball rolling. Bill Edelman with a long tenure. Just your thoughts on that?
Yeah, big shoes to fill, I can tell you that much. Starting with Gary, who, Mr. Sparta, who was my AD when I was in high school, and then Bill, my high school basketball coach, becomes AD a short time after. So, two great people. They've done a great job here at Vernon. A lot of expectations. Have done some tremendous things, and I'm going to work my best to follow in their footsteps.
How important is it that you're not far removed from coaching at all? You coached last year, been coaching for 21 years. How's it going to help you in that transition that, you might be on the other side of the desk, but you were in those shoes not too long ago?
Yeah, it's something, again, like for doing it for so long, I'm familiar with the head coaching positions and the assistant positions. I've worked for a tremendous amount of people here. But now I have to oversee all the athletic programs, and that's something I'm going to have to make sure I, give every sports program equal time. And, I started here Monday as the assistant to Bill because he still has some time left, and I try to get out to every program first thing Monday morning. But of course, something comes up, and that plan's erased right away. But you move on, and you keep a list of things, and you're held accountable, and you do the best job you can.
One of the challenges facing all the ADs up here in this county is declining enrollment. Vernon, last week I just saw officially a Group 2 general classification, and in all sports except for football, a Group 3. How do you approach those challenges?
Yeah, it's tough. It's not easy. But the biggest thing for us is to get back to our community ties, reach back down into the community. I need to be the face of Vernon Athletics and the district, and my coaches need to be the face as well. So we need to get back to old school politics and get back down there and talk to the younger kids, talk to the coaches, and get everybody involved and everybody on the same page.
And also, as you come in, that first basketball season, well, it's going to start in the fall. Vernon no longer in the American division of the NJAC, where they played Pope John and Sparta Manov, playing some of the old SCIL teams in Lenape and who else, High Point and teams like that. How important is that, get those local ties again?
Yeah, it's nice, and it's fun to get back to those local ties. We haven't been there in a while because, again, when we were, thrust into the NJAC, we were one of the bigger schools from up here, so we saw the bigger schools in Morris County, and we lost some of those relationships with the old SEIL. But, on a personal level, I always try to, keep those schools on our lists for whether it was soccer, basketball, golf, anything. I try to keep those schools close. And that's something that, we can look forward to again. And even our crossovers are with some of the other local SEIL schools, too. So that's something that I think everybody on the coaching staffs are eager to see.
And I guess with your position, you guys will be looking for a new girls basketball coach?
Yes, numerous coaches. We have some openings, and we're starting to look at some resumes and starting to talk to some people. But just like I said before, I just started Monday, so just getting my feet wet, and the beginnings of bringing in all the fall sports programs. I think next week, myself, Mr. Edelman, are going to start looking at some of those applicants for down the road. Plus, we have some health and phys ed openings that we'd like to obviously bring in people and individuals with some coaching background. So that's something we're going to be looking at pretty strongly within the next couple of weeks.
And you touched upon it before. Bill Edelman's done so much as an athletic director, not just here, but statewide. He's been named AD of the Year. So it's got to be nice to have someone to lean on during the transition.
Yeah, Bill's recognized at the state level. He's done a lot. Obviously the public, non-public stuff he's been a big part of, and a lot of people have thanked him for that. But I just went to an AD's workshop on Wednesday, and the many ADs, always referred to Bill about certain things. So just not up in Sussex County, Morris County, do people look up to him, but it's at a state level. So, it's very easy for me to just, have him here right now for the first few months just to kind of lean on and help me with the process.
Bill, not only are you from Vernon, alma mater here, but you played basketball for a couple of years at Sussex County Community College. John Kuntz, a nationally recognized junior college AD, you played basketball for him. What kind of influence was he?
Yeah, John was a tremendous influence. Coming out of high school, not really knowing what I wanted to do, and he was a coach at Pope John previously, and him and Bill were close. And it's not so coincidental that they both turned into outstanding ADs. Bill at the high school level and John at the college level, and here I am, following in their footsteps. So they were both tremendous role models. And John was very influential in me, continuing college and playing basketball at Sussex and moving on to a four-year college. And, just a great guy. He's been great for Sussex County athletics, and, another great role model that I would love to follow in the footsteps of.
Good luck to Bill Foley, and again, thank you, Bill Edelman, for all your service. He's been nothing but good to Muggs Media, and we wish him all the best in his retirement. We'll have more here on Greetings from Vernon right after these messages on Channel 10 and MuggsMedia.com. United Water is now Suez, safe, clean water for the communities they serve.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping your tax dollars in our community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by The Copy Center, H&H Auto Parts, Healthy Times Market, McAfee Hardware, Heaven Hill Farm, Lakeland Pool and Spa, Valley Paint and Hardware, and Vernon Tire and Auto Center. Come in, we're local.
Welcome back to Greetings from Vernon. I'm your host, Dan Cleary. Well, recently, the Vernon Township High School held its technology camp. What is that? Well, it's done by the school's technology department. They get educators and teachers from all over the county, and they come and they listen to lectures and speakers about the ever-changing world of technology. It's a great idea. We spoke to Dr. McKay about it, and also Matt Shea, who helped run the event for the school district.
Today at the high school, what we're seeing is most of our professionals on staff here have come to a tech camp or a tech summit. And what we have is we have a guest speaker who is speaking on some technical pieces that can be used in the classroom, but they're also doing things like Google searches. They're working on different programs that they can use in the classroom. And all of it is a way for our teachers to be involved. All of our teachers have laptops. They're all here today. So what you're going to see is our teachers working in the summertime on their technical skills and making sure that they're praised of all the great programs that we have. Matt Shea, of course, is our Director of Technology, and he's working with Janet DeCenzo and Jackie Van Orden, two of our stars. And today's program is all about the teachers and what they're doing in the classroom and the technology that they are going to use. Matt has brought in sponsors from the outside, so you have people like Google here, and it's something that we hope to continue as we move forward, as this is the 4th annual Tech Camp.
We're offering 19 different workshops throughout the day that are put on by different educators. We've tried very hard to make sure that it's educators teaching other educators, because they know what's successful and what works in the classroom and what does not. So we have workshops from like Mystery Skype and Mystery Hangouts, Genius Hour projects in the classroom, Chromebooks in the classroom, blogging in the K-6 classroom, blended learning. Just a ton of variety of workshops that teachers get to choose from for what fits their learners best in their classroom. It's a real challenge for all of us, let alone the teachers, that technology is constantly changing. So they and I get a little upset sometimes that one tool we used last year may not be around this year. So it's something that the teachers constantly have to learn. So we have technology workshops we offer during the course of the year, but that can be very hard for teachers because they may not have the availability to attend some of those workshops. So we host our summer tech camp. This is our 4th annual tech camp, where we invite the whole county. So we have people from 20 different school districts here today to just share ideas, have a chance to slow down and learn at a nice summer pace rather than the hectic school year pace. So we plan slightly longer workshops. So we do 70-minute workshops where people share what they've done in their classroom previously. So we have one going on upstairs right now, Chromebooks in the classroom. Our district is 1-to-1 Chromebooks, 4th through 9th grade, and not all teachers have seen a Chromebook before or know how to use it. The students do, because the students just absorb technology left and right. So upstairs right now, they're learning, what's different about a Chromebook. It doesn't quite have the same keyboard as a Windows laptop. What are some of the apps that the students can use? What are some apps the teacher might want to use with them? How do you manage a classroom full of Chromebooks? So that's just one workshop. And again, they get about 70 minutes, so they get a little bit of time to go back and forth with the presenters and be able to ask questions and learn more about the specific workshop. One of the other ones we're doing is Mystery Skype, Mystery Hangouts, where in social studies classes for geography, the teacher will connect with another teacher somewhere else in the United States, and the kids have to figure out, so they'll Skype or do a Google Hangout, a video conference with another classroom, not knowing where they are, and they can only ask yes or no questions to find out where in the United States that classroom is. And meanwhile, that other classroom tries to ask similar questions to our classroom, and the first classroom to figure out where in the United States that classroom is wins. And so that way the geography is much more meaningful to the students. So that's another one we're doing. That's just an example of the 19 things going on here today. We're trying to be on the leading edge. Like I said, it's hard because technology changes. I would put this day on even if it was only for my own teachers, just because I think it's so important and to give more opportunities for them to learn so they can bring it into their classrooms. But it's great that we can offer this thanks to the sponsors, offer this to the other schools in the county that lunch and breakfast are paid for, and everyone can stay in one spot to learn and share ideas. So.
Folks, I was there when we did the story, obviously, and just watching all the technology and the talk about the ever-changing world, kids getting Chromebooks. It's just unbelievable how technology changes over the years. I was lucky to remember my locker combination to get into my locker, and these kids have all this tech stuff around them. So it's a great job by the district keeping up with all the changes in technology. We'll have more here on Greetings from Vernon right after these messages here on Channel 10 and mugsmedia.com. United Water is now Suez, safe, clean water for the communities they serve.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping your tax dollars in our community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by The Copy Center, H&H Auto Parts, Healthy Times Market, McAfee Hardware, Heaven Hill Farm, Lakeland Pool and Spa, Valley Paint and Hardware, and Vernon Tire and Auto Center. Come in, we're local.
Welcome back to Greetings from Vernon. As we say, Vernon's a great place to go hiking and get outside, but we do have a leash law for your dogs in town, so that means you can't just let your dogs run wild. Well, what do? You go down to the Vernon Dog Park. It's a great place, privately owned and run by the Dogs of Vernon, DOGS, and we spoke to their president and a story on the park.
Dogs of Vernon was formed almost 10 years ago. We formed to set up a dog park in Vernon. It had to be no taxpayer money, done through fundraisers, and there was a small group of us that got together and thought this would be a great idea, and 10 years later, the dog park is here. It has grown from when we first opened it up in 2012. We now have a section for small dogs and large dogs. The small dog section was donated by Janet Pete of Highland Lakes. We run the dog park, we set the rules up. We do work closely with animal control and the township, letting them know what's going on. But we built this and we raise it through fundraisers and donations. We don't require anybody to pay when they come in, but we do gladly accept the donations. There's a donation can at the exit. Our fundraisers range anywhere from a beefsteak dinner to dog wash nail clipping, which we do every year. We've done 10 of those. That's a lot of dogs. We also microchip dogs at that event. Our upcoming fundraisers coming up will be October. We have a Halloween canine parade with costumes and a fun day where the dogs play games. And then we do pictures with Santa and Mrs. Claus in November. It's very important because dogs need to socialize, and Vernon does have a leash law where you have to keep your dog on a leash. The Vernon Dog Park allows them, once they're inside the gates, that they are off leash. All owners are responsible for watching their dogs and taking care of them while they're here. But this is where the dogs come to meet people. And we have a lot of people in the area that don't have a lot of property. Like, I know Highland Lakes, it's small lots. We have the Great Gorge Village condos. We have condos over at Breakneck Road. There's different condos around. And we get people from all over. They don't have the property that they can let their dogs run loose. This is where they bring them. The phone number for the Dogs of Vernon is 201-230-3973. And we also have a website, which is dogsofvernon.org, and you can get information there. If you'd like to make a donation and you don't have a dog or you don't come to the park often, you can send it to Dogs of Vernon, P.O. Box 221, Vernon, New Jersey, 07462.
This is the best thing in the town. Happiest place on earth. And I come here every day, maybe twice a day. I got a rescue dog, and we just love it. We hope that all the dogs do get along, and everybody should come and have a good time.
What a great place to bring down your dogs, let them run free, get some exercise. You can meet other like-minded people who enjoy having dogs, and it's just a great place. And again, run privately by the people from Dogs of Vernon. They don't have to do this, folks. They let you come in for free. So, when you go there, make sure you pick up after your dog and your dog is in control and doesn't cause trouble with the other dogs. But it's such a great thing they do. So please, if you're a dog owner, go there, check it out. It's a great place. We'll have more here on Greetings for Vernon right after these messages here on Channel 10 and mugsmedia.com. United Water is now Suez, safe, clean water for the communities they serve.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping your tax dollars in our community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by The Copy Center, H&H Auto Parts, Healthy Times Market, McAfee Hardware, Heaven Hill Farm, Lakeland Pool and Spa, Valley Paint and Hardware, and Vernon Tire and Auto Center. Come in, we're local.
Welcome back to Greetings for Vernon, and now here is our monthly safety tip from Vernon Police Chief Randy Mills as he talks about back-to-school safety.
Hi, I'm Chief Randy Mills of the Vernon Township Police Department. Back again, and I'd like to again thank Mugs Media for the opportunity to speak to you. A couple topics this week. One things I wanted to talk about was the success of our recent Junior Police Academy. It's the first time we ever attempted a Junior Police Academy. We put together a phenomenal program which was led by Captain Dan Young. We had a very nice turnout and great feedback from the parents. We're hoping this program continues on and is even more successful in the future. One of the most important things that we wanted to talk to you about is it's back to school time, and we're going to go over some things that everybody needs to remember as we start up the school year. First of all, in Vernon, opening day for the schools is Tuesday, the September 6th, which is the Tuesday after Labor Day. So when we're out, we need to be cautious. We need to understand there's going to be the pedestrians, the kids on the street again. We need to understand the buses, allow more time to get to where your destination is going to be because those buses are going to be out there. And we need to use just general overall safety, especially in the beginning when everybody's getting used to their new routines. In Vernon, we seem to have a particular problem with vehicles parking at bus stops, which is certainly okay, but you do have to remember the rules. For a vehicle, any time to park on a roadway, there's some things you need to keep in mind. First of all, you need to park 25 feet away from any intersection. You need to park at least 50 feet away from any stop sign. Vehicles all need to be parked on the proper side of the road. It's not okay to park on the opposite side of the street with your vehicle facing the wrong way. And in all cases, you must park so that you're not obstructing traffic. We need to make sure that the kids are all safely off the main travel portion of the roadway and that the entire area is available for vehicle traffic to freely flow through. And the other thing we need to remember are some safety tips for the actual kids when they're at the bus stop. Certainly the young kids should be properly supervised. They need to stay safely off the roadway. They need to be aware of their surroundings. And one thing that we recommend is that while at the bus stop, they not put their headphones or their earbuds in. They need to be aware of their surroundings. Anything from vehicular traffic to in Vernon, we also have to worry about bears and animals that could approach a school bus stop. And that's certainly happened before. If there is a bear or a large animal approach, kids need to be aware of the proper procedures. Certainly if they have any food in their pockets or in their backpacks, they should drop that immediately and slowly back away. Most of the Vernon kids do get some bear safety training in the schools as far as how to handle those incidents. And then certainly if you see a bear in the area of a bus stop or any place where the pedestrians are walking, feel free to contact the Vernon Police and we can make sure that we chase the animal from the area so that nobody is at risk. If you have any other questions about bus stop safety or bear safety, feel free to contact the Vernon Police. Our phone number here is 973-764-6155. Have a great day.
Randy Mills and the police department do a great job, folks. As he mentioned also, what a great turnout for that Junior Police Academy. So always check out the PAL Facebook page, the Vernon Township Police Facebook page for road closures or anything that's going on. It's very well updated. It's very informative. It's a great Facebook page. Now, folks, coming up, as we said, it's the end of August right now, the time of this taping, as we head into fall. Time to go apple picking. You got great places in Vernon. You can go to Pochuck Valley Farms on Route 565 in Glenwood. You got Heaven Hill. Also some things coming up over at Mountain Creek. They have coming up this Labor Day weekend, the Great American Clam Bake. That'll be Saturday, September 3rd. And then Oktoberfest weekend, that's when the whole town gets it together. That's one of my favorite events. That's going to be the weekend of September 24th, 25th. Also coming up in September, the Vernon Fire Department is going to have their barbecue chicken fundraiser, so go help them out. So a lot of stuff going on to keep you busy with the kids going back to school and, you know, as I said, fundraisers going on. You can help out everyone. In fact, Vernon Animal Control is going to have a spay and neuter clinic coming up, so you can take care of your dogs. We just did a story on the dog park and dogs of Vernon, so check that out. So I hope you enjoyed your summer. Stay safe. Fall is here. Next thing you know, we'll be shoveling. I know, you don't want to hear that right now. Let's enjoy the weather right now. So that'll wrap up this edition of Greetings from Vernon. If you want to advertise, send us an email at info@mugsmedia.com. Or if you have a story idea or something you'd like covered, or a story about your group or organization, we'd be more than happy. Send us an email again at info@mugsmedia.com. Well, that's going to wrap it up this edition of Greetings from Vernon. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again soon on Channel 10. United Water is now Suez, safe, clean water for the communities they serve.
The Vernon Independent Retailers Association reminds you that when you shop locally, you're helping to build our community by supporting local employment and keeping your tax dollars in our community. Support the Vernon Independent Retailers who support you. Brought to you by The Copy Center, H&H Auto Parts, Healthy Times Market, McAfee Hardware, Heaven Hill Farm, Lakeland Pool and Spa, Valley Paint and Hardware, and Vernon Tire and Auto Center. Come in, we're local.